Ladies and gentlemen, above all, today we are going to have a panel discussion under the theme Keys to Success to explore experiences and key points of how to develop yourself and be successful. And please welcome PA Pachari Raksawong, our honor moderator here on stage.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Brilliant. This works. สวัสดีค่ะ Let me just check out. Oh, it's still morning. So, good morning, everybody. I'm going to shake this auditorium here, wake you guys up, because this session is extremely important. It could actually inspire you and pave the path to success. So, all of you who are half asleep or have already slept through whatever happened earlier, wake up now. สวัสดีค่ะ All the Ajans, parents, any parents in this hall, I can still see people asleep. Hello, wake up, wake your friend up, okay? And we've got plenty of time, so really definitely gonna shake this place here, wake everybody up. Now, for this session here, and it's called Keys to Success, we are going to be hearing firsthand from 4 key individuals who I know, well, some of them already obvious that they are extremely successful in what they do. And we've got people who graduated in 2016 and 2017 who still have to prove that, but I'm sure their future is very promising indeed. So we're going to be hearing from them. Once again, a big round of applause welcoming all 4, Associate Professor Dr. Supawadi, Mr. Kristada, Mr. Ananthon, and Mr. Titawat. Kindly. It's like a game here. We've got color-coded microphones, but you get to pick which one you want. Do join us. Okay, so you've heard a brief introduction from the other teachers, ajans, deans, associate dean, but this time I'm going to ask for each and every one of you on stage to, in a nutshell, introduce yourselves, a little bit of your background, okay, history, including what you think would interest and wow everybody here. Now, we want to bring your wow factors out because we want them to be wowed and we want them to be inspired, and we also have a Q&A session, and you might want to ask them questions if you happen to be interested in their field, all right? So we're really going to make this as interactive as possible. So let's start off with the most experienced, seasoned. We're not talking about age here. I'm not going to talk about age. I graduated in the same year as Associate Dean of Student Affairs, Ajahn Mike. Don't laugh. We're not old. We're seasoned, and we get more intelligent. We're like wine, I tell you. Right, Ajahn? We're like wine. The older we get, the more expensive, the more valuable, okay? Know that. Over to you. Another age bottle of wine right next to me here. Please.
Okay, so thank you very much. So I believe that you may guess that among 4 of us or 5 of us, I'm the one with the most experience.
Correct. You've put that correctly. Right. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, so actually can you guess what year? I'm graduate the ISDP class.
I'm with you there. I was also with ISDP. Do you all know what that is? Do you? Do you know what ISDP is? Who knows? Prize for those who know. No prizes for anyone. Okay, ISDP was how it all started.
Yes, so it's an international student degree program. So actually before it's become Mahidol MUIC, yeah, they start with ISDP. So I think it's way back
Way back, but not
Way
too
back.
long ago, not that long ago. So once again, before it became MUIC as we know it today, it was ISDP, the International Students Degree Program. And that's what we were known by back then, not too long ago.
Yeah, I was a graduate ISDP batch 4 in the year of
สวัสดีค่ะรุ่น
1993.
พี่
So at that time, yeah, I'm graduate in the computer science, and after I'm graduate, I worked for a little bit less than 1 year, and then I got the government scholarship to continue my master and PhD in the United States. So I got my PhD, master and PhD in electrical engineering in the year of, master is 1996 and PhD is 2001. And since then, I came back and joined Department of Electrical Engineering at Chulalongkorn University. So that is my brief history.
So you're basically a professor teaching.
Yes, but actually, professor is not just only teaching. Yeah, I found that actually this has enhanced me, give me opportunity to do so many things. Because I worked with company a little like 8 months before, and I decided that it's not for me.
I see.
Yeah, I would love to have the freedom in thinking and in choosing what I would love to do. That's how I follow my passion.
Right. So from spending a bit of time in the corporate field, business, etc., you decided you didn't really want to do that anymore, but you wanted to dedicate your life and you had a passion for teaching, for disseminating knowledge and educating others. Very noble indeed. Thank you very much indeed for that. Let's now move on to Mr. Grisada.
Yes.
Please, over to you. Tell us a bit about your background and what you're doing today.
Okay, so I also have a background in computer science, graduate computer science as well. And so back then, when I graduated, I always had this feeling that I wanted to do my own thing, start my own business, but it's been quite a long journey ever since. So I've started Flow Account about 4 years ago. It's a cloud accounting solution for small businesses. But how I got to this is because once I graduated, I went to China, came back, started a trading business, and then I later on had a media production company. And throughout the course of that, I was always doing my own accounting because it was a very small business. We had only a couple of employees, 5 or 10 employees. And eventually, I was the one doing the accounting. So which led to me saying that, hey, the solutions out there are very difficult to use, and so I built my own. And so that's what led me to run our own startup today.
Right. I have a short summary of what you do, what you have done here, and I am very wowed by it. You started a company along with your brother.
Oh, yes.
Is that? Oh, yes. You completely forgot about that, didn't you?
and a few MUIC friends as well.
Okay. And excuse me, what was that?
And many MUIC friends. Currently at Flow Account, we have four my friends at MUIC.
Okay. And do you need more staff to work with you? Because there are plenty here. Look at that.
Definitely.
Okay. Send in your resume if you're interested, if you like doing accounts. I don't. Okay. So there you go. This company called Flow Account, and it's not just any company. Tell us about Flow Account and its achievement. I mean, you started small as a startup, I believe. Right? And startup, it's such an in word these days, isn't it? But it can take you places. It really can. Like, for example, in your case, tell us, please. I know you are so humble, but it really has it has taken you really, really places, winning scholarships, etc.
Right. So we started about 4 years back. I called my friends, my programming friends up and say, hey, let's do this. And we started Flow Account because we thought that, hey, this is something important, and this is something actually that's very good for Thailand, because it helps people who want to start their own business have an easier life, have a simple tool that they can help manage their administration tasks. And so that's where it started. And so we actually really didn't think it'd come this far. We just thought that, hey, this is something good, and I have some money from my previous business. Let's try it out with my brother, with my friend from MUIC. And then we called everyone else we know who could code. So anyone you hear doing computer science, you should continue coding because it's one of the most valuable resources in the market at the moment.
Coding, did you
Yes,
say?
yes.
All right, guys. So there you go. Coding is a skill you should also focus on. And he mentioned that he started this Flow account with his brother and his friends from MUIC. Do you know what that says? That says networking and continuing good relationships amongst your peers, because you never know, one day, you'll be joining hands, collaborating, and starting something huge. Look what happened to things like Facebook. That all started off with friends and stuff as well, didn't it? Okay, so networking amongst yourselves, good friends, especially those friends who are super talented and they have special skills, you know who you are, right? Okay, and that's a good start as well. So once again, Flow account, and that seems like a really noble thing as well because it helps the smaller business owners, right, in dealing with the accounts and setting up their business. Thank you very much. Is there anything else you would like to add? No? You can.
Well,
you can.
you would like me to add some more? Well, anyhow, the journey was that we really thought this was something that we didn't know where it would take us, but what I learned is that if you work hard enough, eventually people can see what you can do with the resources you have, and they give you more opportunity. And so later on, we got investment from leading venture capital firms, which led us to open our horizons and allowed us to do more. So actually, you never know what something would lead to, but it's the company you keep and the people who are with you that allows you to be able to move forward. And that's very important.
So look, and being humble the way he is also very, very good, to know, to always remember where you came from and to be humble. Let me just read to you this. Flow account, or this company that he started, won in the AIS Startup 2015 competition, ultimately receiving 1 million baht from AIS, and then on to receive $2,000 from Samsung Asia as well. So that's a big achievement. Okay, congratulations to you. Let's move on now to Mr. Ananthorn. You graduated in 2016.
Yes.
Please tell us about your background.
I graduated from marketing major, and then right after I graduated, I have my family business in the construction, trucks, and transportation business. Right there waiting for me with my mother that has started a shelter, a foundation that rescuing stray animals, dogs and cats. So right after I graduated, I have responsibility to face right away because by that time, we already have 1,500 animals in our care, and it's very high expense. And I came in here facing quite a crisis for my family to continue this shelter.
But you will continue.
I will. I see all of them as my family. I will never abandon them.
Right. Now, I was about to say, reading his profile here, that he comes from a very, very, very big family. It says here over 1,600 stray dogs as part of his family, 400 cats, 5 pigs, and 1 monkey. Should you feel the urge to adopt, I'm sure he will welcome you with open arms.
Yes, please. They are all open for adoption.
Right. And I believe that you know that it is a problem we have here in Thailand, roadkill. Have you ever experienced running into a stray animal crossing the road, driving to Salaya? You see, they're not even supposed to be out there on the roads. We've got a huge problem in terms of stray animals out there on the streets of Thailand.
Yes, it's a huge problem which is really hard to tackle.
well, hopefully, the population will get smaller and smaller and smaller. I say we should tax pet owners. Anyways, let's move on now. Thank you very much, Mr. Ananton. Let's go to Mr. T. Thawat. I heard a lot of applause, a lot of cheers for you. Let's hear that again.
Thank you. So, hi guys. So my nickname is Pete.
Pete.
Yeah, I'm a filmmaker.
You're a filmmaker.
Yes.
I do a bit of acting.
I can tell. So, I think.
ค่าตัวไม่แพงด้วย
อ๋อเหรอฮะได้ฮะได้
Sorry, please.
So I was in the program, the FAA program. I think, I'm not sure if it still exists now in MUIC. I was in the film program for the entertainment media. So I've been making films since I was in middle school, just shooting stuff, making videos, having fun with friends, and then I decided to study it here. And then I graduated, and I'm still making films until now.
Okay, so you're still making films. It seems like a burden on you, isn't it? Are you still making films? But you know, it's not just like everyday films. He makes films that win awards. The grand prize in film category, Young Thai Artist Award in 2016, Director's Choice Award in the Little Wings Film Festival in London, the UK. So you're going to make it big. Have you been to Cannes?
No, I haven't. Not
Maybe we can go to Cannes together.
yet. Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys. Anybody here interested in film? Hands up.
Seriously?
Don't be shy. Come on. I am. Like, I'm so proud and loud about it. And you know, it's never too late to start, right? But you guys are still young, so you've got a lead there. Okay, so we've got talented individuals up here on the stage. Save your questions, and I will give you the opportunity to ask in a little bit. For now, let's talk more about how you came to where you are. What was it that made you choose what you wanted to do? Did you discover it at their age, 4 years at MUIC, or when was it? Because if I may, for me, I studied business administration right here at MUIC. Now, the beauty of MUIC these days is that you've got so many different subjects to choose from, courses to choose from. Back then, forget the sciences. We had computer science and food science. I think that was about it. Back then, that was it, so limited. And then we had the arts. And for the arts, we had business administration and travel industry, tourism. And that was it. Forget the sciences. This head here knows nothing about numbers, knows nothing about, you know, technology, all that. So I actually wanted to be a diplomat. There was nothing in terms of international relations, so I just opted for business administration. You shouldn't run a country based on business, though. Oops. Okay? But anyways, I did business administration, and then I went on. But that was not what I wanted to do. Nothing business related, and I'm doing nothing business related now. How was it for the four of you? Let's start from film. You knew from the start that you wanted to do film, and that's why you came here. And there's film now? You can study film? You said you did FA? Did I hear correct?
It was FAA.
What's that? What's FAA?
Fine Applied Arts.
Okay, all right. Okay, but it wasn't exactly zoomed in yet. It was general.
No, it was film major.
It's film, directly film. Okay, so you knew right away what you wanted to do.
Yeah, so when I was in grade 8, I had an assignment. I had to edit videos, a slideshow for a camp in my school. And editing the video, it was just photos from the camp with my middle school friends. And when the photos were on the slides and it was up on the screen, and then I remember thinking, some photos make people laugh, some photos make people react certain ways. And then the fact that you put photos in a certain order had different reactions, and then that's how I kind of just kept doing that until now. So I've just been making videos, and when I was in high school, I got friends together and we made like short films for fun. So, borrowed my dad's money to, like, hey dad, I need some blood for my movie, So it started out like that, and when I came here, it was pretty straightforward because I went to study film, and then in my internship, I went to intern at this lighting and camera company, so that became even more clear what I wanted, and then after I graduated, my thesis film also got some attention. That's why when I graduated, I had jobs right away, and I just kept. Until now, I'm shooting commercials, music videos, short films, and I'm currently attached to a feature film project supposed to shoot end of this year, in theaters late next year. But it's just started. How I got here is I just kept doing what I liked.
How valuable is internship for you?
How valuable?
How valuable is internship for you?
It's everything. Actually, I think for me, because it made a very huge impact for me, my internship, yeah.
Hint, hint, internship. Going to apply for an internship position, training somewhere, it's very, very important. That's how you're going to learn how to discover yourself, whether it is truly what you want to do, okay? So you know now that your Run P, is in film, he's directing this and that and that and this, and he's super talented. You might want to send him your application letter to intern and to learn from him, okay? Hint, hint, and that is truly important. Let's now move on to Mr. Ananton. You studied marketing here, did you?
Yes.
Right, okay. And how do you think that's helped you now?
The knowledge that I get from studying marketing, I have be able to put them to use into my family business and into the shelter at the same time. So when I was studying in college, in university, I have changed my major many times.
Is that so? From what to what to what? And why did you change from that to that to that?
When I first graduated, I went to the university in US. It's an art university.
When you finished high school?
Yeah, after the high school.
Then you went to the US?
Yes.
To study?
To study art.
Arts.
In Savannah College of Art and Design.
Why was that?
In Georgia, US.
Why did you go there?
Because my art teacher recommended me.
I see. Because at that time you were interested in the arts?
Yes.
And
it's kind of fell out of my interest, and my mother just really misses me, and she really want me to come back to Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went there for 2 years, and then came back here, and I studied about When I first came back here, I enrolled in the food science in Mahidol.
So you, from the US, came back here and you opted to apply to study at the food science.
Yes, and then I feel like I didn't interested in that much, too deep into it. So I changed again and then went to film and television too. And then I started food. But then it's like I have been studied in so many fields. I couldn't really decide what I'm really
Okay. Look, some of you are going to walk a straight path. You knew since high school what you wanted to do, and you pursue it. Just like our film director here, Mr. Tita Watt, right? He knew since high school. But then you've also got like Mr. Ananton here, who did a stint in the US, came back from the arts to food science, totally opposite poles there. And then decided to do, from food science, jump into film, you wanted to do films about food, perhaps, fuse them together. And then after that, after film, you thought, no, not for me.
It's fun, but I just want to try something new again.
Which is not wrong, okay? It's not wrong to try and discover yourself through this path we called life, and then?
And then And then my mother have been, start to rescuing animals for 14 years. And by that time that I have still be in the university, we starting to have a lot of, very high expense, a lot of trouble, financial crisis in my family. So I decided to stick to marketing major right after that. And then I finally graduated.
I see.
I graduated, coming out, after I graduated, I come out trying to help my family.
Right, so, and I'm sure it's very useful, marketing, to get the word out that we need more help, right? And let me know how I can help you as well. I could always make some announcements on radio, etc., to help find people who are keen on adopting or keen on injecting more money to helping rescue the dogs and making life better for them. Let's move on now to Mr. Grisada.
Yes.
How did you know what you wanted to do?
Oh,
And more importantly, when?
okay. So I was in MUIC, I think it was the third year. I was studying computer science, and so I enjoyed computers and I enjoyed working and understanding algorithms and all that, but I wasn't really good at coding. and during the third year, I got an exchange scholarship from the university to Singapore, and that changed a lot of my perspective.
Right.
And so that got me very interested into business, because the people at Singapore are very, very hardworking, very competitive, and they're very, very business oriented because it's such a small country. And so that opened me to all the other avenues such as business, marketing. But then I came back to MUIC and I just continued finishing my degree in computer science. And so after that, I knew that I always wanted to start my own business. So I went to China for quite a bit. I stayed in China for about 2 years, got a job there, understood a few things, learned some
Where
Chinese.
in China, did you say?
Yeah. Where in China?
You went to China
Yeah,
and
so
you worked there
after
for a
graduation,
while.
I went to China for 2 years, worked there for a bit, and learned the language, and started my first business as importing Chinese goods to sell in Bangkok, Thailand. So it's like, the internet wasn't that great back then, so we wholesale, imported by ship and wholesaled, and so that was my first business.
Wow. So you have had international exposure working in Singapore, studying in Singapore for a
I
bit.
started studying in Singapore for a bit, for like a semester. And then I went to China to study some Chinese, and so that eventually taught me how, because back then importing stuff from China was a very, very lucrative thing, because you would buy stuff at like a tenth of the cost and you can sell it for like so much more. And so I started off my first business as a trading company.
For you, how important is it having international exposure?
Yes,
Do you think that?
Yes, it is very important, because when we're in Bangkok, when we're at home, we are with our parents and everything is good. We have a car, we don't need to wash our clothes, and yeah, everything is taken care of. But when you're out there alone, you start to see that, hey, life is not that simple, and you need to get yourself together to be able to concentrate and to be able to perform the way you would like to.
Dr. Supawadi, over to you now. When was it that you decided that you wanted to be a professor, a teacher, and what was it that you learned from your years at MUIC that helped you, sort of groom you to get ready for your future?
I see. Yeah, maybe start a little bit from like why also I choosing computer science, because during like I believe 1990s, actually it's very new discipline. Yeah, so at that time now you have like World Wide Web is very common, but at that time you have only, I think, DOS. I don't know if you know DOS. There's no window yet at that time, and we can still remember all the floppy disks and things. So I'm interested in like the technology field, yes, and so that drive me, like, and why I choose like ISDP at that time. Because I believe it's like the pioneer of international program in Thailand. That's true. At that time. Yeah, even I would say that our batch, ISDP 4, we have only 30 students. 30, but now, you have like thousands, right? Yeah, so at that time, and then in the computer science field as well, at that time, ISDB does not have their own program. So in the last 2 years, I'm also studying with the computer science department at Faculty of Science. Yeah. So that's about how I'm interested in the computer science field. But how I choosing like the academic career, yeah, because after graduate, I think okay, it's good to find experience in the company first. So I work at the Telecom Asia, and Telecom Asia actually now is a true company. Okay, so at the time, even in Telecom Asia, they bring in like a lot of new system like finance, accounting. So I have a chance to work also with like a Singaporean, consultant and so on. But then, as I said, I feel like it does not, it's not my passion to work in the company. So when there is a scholarship opening, okay, so I also go there. But still, at that time, I'm still choosing because my family have our own business as well. Yeah, so at that time...
Sorry, forgive me here, if I may. What was your family business, or what is your family business?
My family business is we are manufacturer of the bronze and brass statue figure.
Ah, okay.
It's like a decoration, like in the garden or like in the hotel.
So you weren't interested in that?
I'm thinking of helping them at one point. So even when I apply for scholarship, I also choosing business administration as well. Like number 1, number 3, I choose business administration. But number 2, I choose like electrical engineering.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But finally, I got the scholarship in electrical engineering.
Brilliant.
So it's somehow, so it feels like many times we should lay out like many opportunity for ourselves. But then when we go in, maybe the destiny will tell us that okay, because I got scholarship here, so I continue. So I finished like I think 4.5 years, and I returned. So during my career, gradually now I'm 17 years at Chulalongkorn. Yeah, so I found that that's my passion. Teaching is okay, but I love to do research, and I love to advise students.
Okay, yeah. That's wonderful.
So and then I have an opportunity to, because I'm more of an international person. So actually I expose a lot with international research, and also being in the international committee as well.
Once again, I applaud you. That's very noble indeed in terms of sharing your knowledge with everybody. And I hope that all 4 of you would consider a role as a teacher, as a lecturer as well. And today here on this stage, you are also in your own way a lecturer and sharing your knowledge and your experience with everybody here. Now, I'm going to pause the questions on this stage because I was a student. And I know that it's difficult to stay seated for so long and listen to people speak, So I have a question for you now, okay? Everybody here graduating this year, graduated pretty much, right? So how long did you spend in MUIC? 4 years, right? Okay, and I know that you look back on these 4 years as an enjoyable time, as a time where you learned a lot. So if you reflect on these past 4 years of yours, what do you think was the most valuable? What was it? Like, for example, if I may share my thoughts, 4 years at Mahidol. What did I learn? And it doesn't have to be the subjects or the academic aspect. Of course I got that. Remembered some, forgot a lot. But what I picked up at my years at ISDP was confidence in myself. I started off as a very timid, as a very shy person. I did not like speaking in front of the class, no matter how small or big. I remember when I was in year 1, you have the Nang Nopamat, right? And they chose me to represent the faculty, go on stage. My goodness, Ajahn Mike can vouch for me. I was so reluctant. I was so afraid. I hated the microphone. I hated the stage. I didn't like to get made up. And I did not like to be in front of a crowd. I hated it. It was scary. Okay, what am I doing today? So different. But anyways, so it was one activity after the other representing the faculty. And slowly, you get injected with confidence until finally you are able to grace the stage and feel at ease and feel happy to perform or speak in front of an audience. And this turned out really great for me because I built my career around the ability to speak in front of an audience. So what do I do now? I MC events. Yeah, this coming week, I'm going to be emceeing in front of some of the leaders from this region in the ACMEX meeting that Thailand is hosting. And I also read the news. Who turns on Met 107? Because I'm Patari Raksa Wong Kinsberger for Met 107. Oh, thank you. I was never able to do that. And I get goosebumps. Thank you so much for your kind applause. I could not speak in front of a crowd. But that was what ISTP gave me. That small bit of confidence each time they thrust me, and they literally thrust me. Because I remember up on that stage as Nang Nopamat, ISDP sent 2 candidates, right? It was me and another friend. And then I happened to make it through the first round. But then I was like, I don't want to go up again. Can you just send her back up? I'm happy to take her place, But then of course not. And I went up, and then we came home with a prize, didn't we, that year? We did win it, okay? So I did take home Nang Nopamat for the faculty. And then it was cheerleading. I grew up abroad. My goodness, I knew cheerleading with pom-poms. But here in Thailand, what do? They're like, and I'm like, what the heck is that, What is that? I mean, just give me a pom-pom, but I can't even dance. I can't dance, I can't sing. Well, anyways, and that was another thing, slowly injecting confidence, okay? So that was what I got, and lots more, but that's just one example. So I want you to sit there in silence for 20 seconds thinking about the skills that you picked up during your 4 years, okay? So absolute silence. Reflect on yourself for 20 seconds, starting now. You're bright students, 10 seconds is enough. Okay, now whisper, well, you don't have to whisper, tell your friend next to you what you value most from your 4 years. Go on, tell your friend next to you, share, speak. Come on, what did you get? 4 years, what do you learn? Come here, you two. Come here. Come. I know you want to come. Come up now. 1, 2, 3. มาเลย Thank you อาจารย์ Mike อยากออกดีนะ ไปเข้าห้องน้ำไปก่อนแป๊บหนึ่งอั้นไว้ก่อนกลางเวทีเลยครับผมไปเลยเดี๋ยวนี้ดูสิ Woo! Okay. So 4 years here at MUIC, you had your 10 seconds to reflect. Oh!ขึ้นมาแล้ว Look, your 1 minute of fame. Don't let it slip away, okay? So, after thinking about you know you're 4 years here แล้วตอบดีๆนะเกรงใจคณะอาจารย์อยู่ตรงนี้ด้วยนะครับ what do you think is something that you value what made you better or what did you learn here that makes you a better person and perhaps that skill you can use in your future all right so you want to answer first
So, during 4 years of my life at MUIC, I think that I have learned so many things, not even in my academic field, and I also learn non-academic field as well. For my academic field, I learn creativity, drawing skills. I talk for my animation production program. When I was the first year, I think that my drawing skills and my creativity is not so good. And during that time, I learned from so many adults and share my experience in animation with adults and my comrades.
He loves the microphone. He didn't really want to return it to me. You see that? Okay. So you think that your creativity skills, innovative skills were further enhanced. Well, that's good, because that's going to take you a long way if you are creative and innovative. All right? And more. He's forgotten one more thing. You see? He's in love with the microphone. Go.
Okay, one more thing I forgot to tell you. When I was the fourth year student and doing the thesis project, I think I thought something different from the animation, which is about the toy production, and I did with my very favorite characters, like my favorite characters, adapted with something different from its original field, and become my toy products today. So, for example, I created something like a Gundam. I hope some of you know that. If you don't know, that's okay. It's okay.
Thank you. You may go to the toilet. Thank you. All right. Creative and something about Gundam. You may leave the stage now. Okay? Thank you so much. Big round of applause.
I don't really know what to say, but yeah, at least I will speak something. 4 years from MUIC, I had learned learn how to fit in the society. About friendship, it's one of the most important for me. Yes, and all of you guys shaped me like how who I be today. Thank you.
Okay, you know, this is a small pool you're swimming in. If you can survive in here and, you know, work on your social skills, that's a good start. Because now you're going to be let out into the bigger pool, the pool of reality, and being Mr. Congeniality will help you get places. Thank you for your input. And finally.
Okay, so I think what I got the most is ability to be critical thinking and mostly about management science that I currently tutor now. Yeah, and it's a part that I will continue to study on in my master and PhD.
Wow. Ambition. Thank you very much indeed. Critical thinking, you may also depart the stage now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed for your input there. Critical thinking is also extremely important. Education in Thailand, you know what they do? They spoon feed you. If you went to high school here, they spoon feed you. Everything is in a frame. You can't answer back to the teacher, etc. But to have critical thinking skills, that will also take you places. So translate that skill into reality and use it in the workplace. Okay, so that's for you to reflect on the skills you learned, what you got from 4 years here. Now I'm going to ask our special guests here what they learned from ISDP, MUIC, and they actually use that in their career to this day. Okay, let's hear from them.
Okay. Actually, there are two things. So the first one is, I believe that like ISTP and MUIC provide me the enough technical depth and also broad as well in the course of study. I believe I didn't tell you that I'm also graduate first class honor at that time. That also provide me the very good, like what should I say? Like a standing point for me, solid standing ground for me to choose many opportunity after that. So that's the first one. And then the second one is, I mean, in the international environment also ignite my passion for internationalization, because now I'm a very international person, and partly is from that as well. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We're going to jump there to Mr. Cool, Mr. T Cool. Can I call you Mr. T Cool?
Cool, sure.
Mr. T Cool, Mr. T Tawat?
Yes.
Okay, so what was it that you got from MUIC?
And I think the film, TV, animation guys know what I'm talking about, but I learned how to make like really, really strong coffee. Yeah, yeah.
Wow, a life skill.
Yeah.
Knowing how to make really strong coffee.
Yeah, and how to make really strong coffee and then drinking it, because basically we need it all the time, especially in like the thesis or like group projects. And I still remember having so much coffee. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you got.
Well, yeah, but then there's more to that coffee. The thing is,
I'm sure. No, but you know, you've got a point there. It's a very valid point, because each and every one of us are individuals, unique, right? You have different techniques to deal with stress. You have different techniques to deal with exam time or meeting deadlines, etc. And if strong coffee is what it takes for you to succeed and do it well, then by all means, make that strong cup of coffee, okay? And what else did you get from MUIC?
no, but the thing with the coffee is that when I really make that really strong coffee, I'm usually not having it alone. It's usually with the members of the crew, or when you're like waiting for this clip to render or something with your friends. So I think that was the most important thing I learned: friendship and working as a team. Yeah.
You know what's in his mind? He's doing a show reel, or he's coming up with a storyboard now, starting with a cup of coffee, and then he's like, and his hands on the coffee, and then we're gonna like zoom in, and different kind of hands showing the background of the person, because your hands tell you where you've been. Like my hands, like lots of like laundry and washing and carrying my kids and stuff, right? Is that what you're doing?
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So beyond coffee, it's who he drinks coffee with. It's networking. It's socializing. It's knowing the people who will perhaps one day be there for you to help you soar and take you places. Thank you very much. Loved your answer. I don't drink coffee though. Oh. Okay, come, Mr. Ananthon ka.
First, I want to use this chance to say that I feel the privilege and honor to have studied here and graduate at MUIC. What have I get from this? Sleepless nights before final exam, the technique to taking a nap in class without your professor noticing, and all this hard work. But the most important thing is again the chance to get to know friends, and networking is so important for your success in this world. I'm not saying that your skill, your knowledge are not important, but for me, when I was still studying here, I also get a chance to to get to know a lot of students, staff, and teachers at the veterinary college. And because of that, after I graduated, I was able to invite them to come to visit my shelter, and they end up volunteering to do yearly vaccination for my shelter, and that helped a lot for my staff because we have to give the vaccine to the animals every year, at least once a year, to keep the disease in control. And we only have 15 staff hiring, so the job was very hard and take a lot of time to just finish just vaccination. Before I get the volunteer from the vet college, it took my staff like 3-4 months to just finish the vaccination process. And now with their help, it's helped me a lot.
May I propose something? You know how we're talking about making friends, networking, and making sure that you keep the relationships, etc. Mr. Titawat,
Yes.
do you direct anything having to do with children?
Actually, I'm not a director.
Well, okay.
Professionally.
Yeah. When you make your films, etc., do you have children in them,
Yes.
or your commercials, etc.?
Sadly, yes.
Sadly, yes. Don't say that. I'm a mother of 2. I was hoping maybe you could take my kids to be in front of the camera too. Okay. No, because this is what they say. When you're in film, when you're making a movie or commercials or whatever, it's really, really difficult to work with children because you can't really control them. And also, it's very difficult to work with animals. But hey, look, we might have a match made in heaven here, as you perhaps could join hands here with Mr. Ananton, come up with a film of some sort to help market it out that we have animal shelter here. That's a brilliant idea. I think you should make that strong cup of coffee together and get talking, okay?
Please.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
Brilliant, okay? I haven't sold the idea. I'll talk to you later. Because you know what? I was flying. My husband is from Austria, so I fly off to Austria every now and then with the kids. One time, I sat next to a lady who was from Switzerland. She works so hard in Switzerland, and what does she do? She keeps her money, and then she comes here to Thailand to help stray dogs. You know that there is a kind population outside of Thailand who have this passion to come and help stray dogs here in Thailand. Maybe you want to target them, marketing. Maybe you need somebody who's good in filming and etc. to come up with a tear-jerking film of some sort. Okay, so that's just my thought for you. You see, networking. Okay, thank you very much indeed. Over to you, MUIC, the 4 years, and how it's helping you today. Apart from your friends and your gang and your brother.
Right. Apart from all my friends who were still very close, what I learned is we call it เด็กกิจกรรม which means I attended all the clubs and all the SA, SMO activities. And one thing I really learned from doing all that is project management. And being a business owner, that's exactly what you do. You manage projects. You delegate tasks. A business is maybe a 5-year, 10-year, 20-year project, but it's the exact same skill. If you could get your class, your friends to come to dinner on time, to get on the bus on time, that is the skill you exactly use when you run your own business. So that's what I learned, and I still learn today. And I always look back and reflect on, yeah, it's actually the same skill you learned back then that you can continue to use now. And so life skills are very important to us back then. Back then I learned life skills. Those skills I still use till today, and that's very valuable indeed.
I would definitely agree with you there. Okay, we're now going to start the Q&A session. It is your golden opportunity. Now, asking questions will help you learn a lot, and I'm sure that the individuals here up on stage will be more than happy to give you an answer. So please feel free to raise your hand and ask away. Do we have any questions to begin things off for the Q&A session? Come on. We can do with more enthusiasm. Who's here into film? Hands up. Do you not have any questions? Any questions at all for our guests? Now, asking a question in itself takes a lot of courage sometimes. Okay? I didn't like to ask questions because I felt that one, my question would be stupid, my friends would laugh at me, but that's never true, right? Because your question is actually probably a question that somebody else or many other people may have, but they're just not willing to raise a hand and ask. So there's no such thing as a nonsensical question. Every question has a learning point. And now I would like to encourage you all to start. I hope you've actually been doing it all this time, but to get knowledge and to get experience through questions. Please, questions. I'll give you 100 baht if you ask a question. Oh, look! 100 baht! Down. Fine. Okay, question then. It's got to be a valid question. It's got to be a question that's worth 100 baht, okay? All right, microphone coming your way. And that's it, just 100 baht, because that's all I have in my wallet, okay? That's all I have. I'll come to you just after him. Thank you so much.
Should I stand?
You can do whatever you feel comfortable doing.
I'll sit then. Thank you. So I have a question for our honorable guest, four of you. Would you ever doubt yourself that you would never be good enough? If so, how can you manage it?
Okay, that doubt in you. I can't do that. I'm not good enough. I don't have the skills. Oh, he's better. Oh, he's definitely going to get the job, or she's going to probably take that job. I'm not good enough. I'm not cut out for this. Have you ever been in that situation? If yes, how do you deal with it? Anybody may answer first.
I believe everyone will face that, and I think like even now, I'm still facing that thought sometimes. That when be in like, for example, maybe some competition, or maybe there are some difficult tasks that coming in. So many times I'm still feel that, like sometimes, oh, we're not good enough. But I believe that, like for me, the experience that I have, we have to overcome or neglect that negative thought. And actually we can do everything. So usually in my life now, I'm not afraid of any new opportunity or anything. So I'm willing to try difficult tasks. So I believe like this is the mindset that it has to be like adapt and change over time. And I believe that finally the experience that if you have tried many difficult tasks many times will allow you to overcome it. Yeah.
If I may add to that, Dr. Supawati, it also comes with age too, doesn't it? When you get older, then you tend to wear a thicker and a thicker mask, and then eventually it doesn't really matter what challenges you are faced with, and you are able to cope and deal. So I think with increased experience, you actually get that sort of like power, or that, feeling that whatever happens, I'm going to give it a shot. And I think what's really important is that you give it your very, very best attempt. Okay? That's key. Give it your very best. Please, Mr. Titawat.
I think if you're worth anything, you think about that daily, like once a day or something. But it's not unhealthy to think like that. I think it's very healthy. But I think what you do, or whether it's a healthy or unhealthy thought, it's how you deal with it. And I think one of the ways that people deal with, usually I say, I want to be happy or I want to be successful, but that's very, very, very broad. So how I personally deal with it is I set short-term goals. For example, if I want to be a DP, I want to direct something, I'm gonna set a short-term goal, like maybe by next month, I have to finish one book on this movie. In next week, I have to at least take 5 photos per day that I'm proud of, you know. So I think setting short-term goals is a good way to, what's the word for it? Replenish? Does that word exist? I don't even know. Your self-doubt and to keep you on track, I think. Yeah, but it's a healthy thought, and we should all have it every day, I think.
I like that. You know, your question is, do you ever get in that situation whereby you feel like you're not good enough, right? And you don't want to be in a position whereby you are overconfident and that you feel like you're on top of the world all the time and that you're better than everybody else, because then you might not be nice to people around you, and then you forget where you're coming from, and that's not healthy. So for you to ask yourself every now and then, hey, do I have what it takes? I see that as being very healthy. And it's also meaning that you are going to keep on improving yourself as an individual, your talents, your skill. Okay? Thank you very much for that. Yes.
For me, there's many times like I have challenge of raising enough money to keep the shelter running every month. With 2,000 animals that I have been taking care of, that is the minimum expense of 700,000 baht a month that I need to keep up with it. And a lot of time, most of the time I am in debt, I'm drowning in debt. 100,000, 200,000, that's normal for me. And a lot of time I feel like giving up, I feel like really sad. And sometimes if I feel that I don't have the way out, a lot of time I have friends who support me. The close friend who say they believe in me that I can do it. Even though I might not see the way right there. And sometimes there are also people who have been supporting my shelter and my foundation. Just some unknown guy that maybe a year ago I was like 100,000 baht in debt for the food, for the animals, and then need to make money right there because they are eating every day. These 2,000 animals, there are 2,000 mouths to feed every day. And I am so stressful. But all of a sudden, there is some random person who called into me and he said he wanted to donate 50,000 baht right away into my shelter. I jerked into tears right that moment, like, because I don't know this guy. He's just calling me in because he said he know about my shelter from the Facebook page that I have. There are many occasions that occur to me like this, that people who believe in what we do and show us support. It's just both the close friends and both the people who are unknown to me. And that is very emotional, and it gives me strength to keep going and face all these challenges that I have been facing.
Let's give him a big round of applause. You can tell, he has so much passion. He's not going to give up on this, although he's struggling, okay? And knowing that, if you do have a couple of 100 baht or whatever, how about we give our 100 baht to him, huh? Feed some dogs. It's a good idea? We'll talk. Okay, so I'd love to be connected with you, find out your Facebook page. I'll share it on my Facebook page, and I hope that, in our small way, we could help, as a MUIC alumni. I think that would work wonders. Okay,
thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Next, let's hear from our final speaker here, Mr. Krisada.
So for me, being an entrepreneur, you always second guess yourself and you always think you're not good enough. And I have that conversation with myself every single day. And the job gets harder and harder every day. So in the past, you had 5 employees, now you have 15, then you have 20, you have 30, you have 40. What happens when I have 100? I can't even handle the current situation that we have right now. But if you look back at the biographies or even your friends or your parents who are successful, they all started from simple and humble beginnings. And it's their ability to learn, their passion to say that this is something worth fighting for, this is something worth spending 5 years, 10 years, or your life fighting for. And you keep on learning at it. And you have as good a chance as anyone else to be able to succeed at whatever you plan to do. So if you look at each and every one of us, we all have our strengths and we have our weaknesses. Focus on your strengths, try to improve your weaknesses. On the flip side, you see other people who are successful, they also have their strengths and their weaknesses. So it's how you continue to learn, to improve, and to just work at it for as long as it takes. And that gives you the confidence to say, hey, I have as much of a chance to achieve that goal if I try hard or even harder.
A big round of applause for all the answers there. If I may add to that, I MC events, and sometimes I get events whereby I get really anxious and nervous. My Thai is not so strong, but sometimes I'm handed an event whereby I have to speak Thai. For example, just this past week, I had to go into the government house and MC the official launch of this year's National Anti-Human Trafficking Day. And that's very technical because it was predominantly Thai, the script. And then what makes it challenging was that the Prime Minister was there. About 3 or 4 ministers were there. So, you're struggling with Thai already. It's grab rian. Oh no, you can't say grab rian. It's the smallest thing, man choi la. It's just สวัสดีค่ะเรียนท่านนายกรัฐมนตรี blah 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 blah, and you've got to get all these positions, these pronunciations correct, general, blah 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 blah, and that's really nerve-wracking. And when you're speaking, right, everybody's listening to you, and to add to the pressure, it was broadcast live as well. So I'm thinking like, okay, why did they pick me? My Thai is rubbish, and then I've got to read out 50 names because these guys, working hard to counter human trafficking, they're coming up on stage, and then the people from the government house are like, คุณเอ๋ต้องอ่านเร็วๆนะนายกไม่ชอบยืนนานๆต้องอ่านเร็วๆๆๆๆๆ and I'm like crap, and I'm reading like the only Thai I learned was ma ni ti ka shu zai and all that, right? So I feel like I'm not good enough. So what do? What would you do in my shoes? You ask for the script, you do your homework. You read it, you get your mom to tutor you, and you read it again and again and again until it's like second nature reading these names. And you practice again and again and again until you're ready. Okay? And that's what I did. And it was really fun doing it. And thank goodness for me, the Prime Minister was in a good mood. Okay? So it worked out well. And then you ask yourself, you tell yourself, this is not the first time I'm emceeing this National Anti-Human Trafficking Day event. They used me last year. So if they're going to come back to me again, what does that mean? It means they're quite okay with me, right? Right? So that means you're there because you've gone through the vetting process. You did it last year. That means you're not all completely bad. That's why they're inviting you back here again. Enough said. And what Dr. Supawadi said, it's a learning experience and you get stronger and stronger. So if an opportunity comes knocking on your door, don't say no to it because you are questioning whether you're good or not, whether you are able to do it, you go right ahead and do it. It's not your loss. You have everything to gain because you get the experience. Okay? Remember that. Opportunity comes, take it and learn from the experience. Thank you very much. That was a super question. I owe you 100 baht. I have not forgotten. Let's move on to the second question here. A microphone to this gentleman here.
I have a question for พี่กฤษดาครับ first of all, I want to tell you that I have zero experience in accounting. So this question may sound dumb to accounting student, but I want to ask พี่กฤษดา that let's say if I want to open a company, start a company, do we need an accountant, right? We need an accountant as a person in the company, right? And if I use the program, your Flow account, and do I still need to have an accountant, or I can do it by myself? And let's say if the website have some problem, will all the data of my company go down with the website?
Perfect person to ask, you know. I was actually reading your profile. I was very fascinated because you say that your question might be dumb, but I tell you, accounting is something that you should all know, at least at the very basic level, because each and every one of you will have to pay tax, okay? And tax, it involves numbers, doesn't it? Because I mark up my tax all the time, especially when you're getting 1 gig, this gig, that gig. So I was really actually thinking of studying your Flow account. So this question, very valuable for me too, and I'm eager to hear the answer.
You definitely can call me anytime.
Oh, wow.
I will have a private tutoring session for you. But to your question, yes, when you start your own business, you always there's so much to do, not just accounting. Accounting is one of the fewer things you think about. You have bigger fish to fry, such as marketing, sales, and actually having a product and finding people to do it. But to answer your question, like you said, as a business owner, you need to know and understand basic accounting, and it's very important. Basic accounting is something that each and every one of us should understand, and so it's like a life skill. So it's like how you learn swimming, and you can swim for the rest of your life. So it's very important in early stages for you to try to understand as much as you can and do at least a portion of it yourself. But to answer your question, typically if you have a small company, you have an administrator, and she does the simple bookkeeping for you, and you have an outsourced accountant to audit your books and file your taxes for you. And so with the software, it helps you collaborate with your accountants, and it helps you do your basic accounting yourself, and it's easy enough for you to understand. It's online, and you can use your mobile phone, so it makes owning a business a bit easier, and that's actually our goal. Our goal is to help people spend a bit more time on actually owning a business.
So if the system on the website has some trouble,
yes,
will the data go down?
Okay. So to answer your technical question, it's a cloud software as a service platform. So we host on a proper cloud service provider, and it's systematically backed up, and so your data is safe with us.
Great, okay.
Thank you.
Don't worry about the system crashing, because it won't. Otherwise, it wouldn't be an award-winning program, I'm sure. He's worked it out, okay? Once again...
There's always a chance. We're improving.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, and that's also key, isn't it? There's always room for improvement.
Yes.
So you keep on improving yourself and your skills. Refine that. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
your stupid question. You see, it wasn't so stupid after all. Okay? And he said himself that accounting skills are basic ones everybody should know, even if you want to go in business or not. We have another question? Okay.
Here. Hi, PP. So I'm a FA graduate too, and I'm hoping to become a director one day. And the traditional way, like all people know, is you go into a house, a production house, and maybe become an AD3 to 1, and then finally become a director. But I'm hoping to know if there is any an alternative way if I wanted to become a director myself, other than what we all know.
So how to become like you?
You don't want to become like me.
Oh, I think you're a cool role model.
I think to become a director today is there's there's just so many ways to do it that one of the fastest but also the riskiest way is to just do it. Just direct, just get your name out and if you do good work, people will notice. But I also really, really think that you start off as an assistant director or say PM of like a bigger production house and you learn the process.
Yep.
And then you get the connections you get from the houses, the directors producers and you use those connections and friendships to build a stronger portfolio on your own. But the most important thing is just to keep creating. If you're going to be an assistant director, you want to be director someday, but you somehow along the lines you stop creating, you stop doing creative work, you stop thinking about what you would do, stop writing, you stop wanting it, then it's never going to happen. If you're going to be an assistant, you should always have your director inner side of you, like active on your weekends, and let people know about it, and then or we can just talk after this. That's fine if you want.
Sure. Thank you very much. Okay.
There you go. Okay, thank you very much. We have now 3 minutes left. There are more questions. Okay. We'll take one more question from the front here. If we could have a microphone, please. And then the very final thing that I want to hear from all four of you is some perhaps keys to success or advice for everybody here. Okay, and you've got 30 seconds to offer words of wisdom, advice, and keys to success for the graduating batch. But before that, final question from the floor.
Okay, so I'll make this short. Have you ever had a decision that choosing between stable job with probably high money or the thing you love, where you have no idea that it's going to make you money to be able to support yourself or even your family, future wife?
Future wife. He's thinking the future, all right?
You have girlfriend now.
Okay, so you've got two paths, okay? One is lots of money, stability. Sounds like a good path to choose, but maybe passion's not there. And then you've got the other path. Love this, want to do this, but stability, not clear. And it's a bit dark at the end there. What do we do?
Story of my life, I think.
Story of your life. So can we hear that then, in a nutshell?
Well, when we have family reunions or I meet my parents' friends or like adults and they ask what I do, and when I tell I'm a DP, cinematographer, they always ask why. Tamaya, like why would you do that to yourself? But I think, but I was lucky enough that I knew that if I didn't do this, I wouldn't be happy, and I think you have to be very clear to yourself what you want. I mean, most of us do work so we can have enough money to be happy, right? I think generally that's how. But I think if my work is also a source of happiness, then that's fine. Because in the end, I think if you do work, you have a stable job, and that's great. Money is really good for you. I'm not saying money is bad. I would love to have more money, but you have to always be true, and this is about growing up as well, because I think growing up isn't so bad. I finished school just 2 years ago, and it's not that bad. But as long as you continue to grow up, if you get the stable job and you do things just because you have to do it in a routine, and like your question, you stop creating, you stop feeling, you stop meeting your friends, you stop doing things for pleasure, you stop doing things out of passion, then you start to grow old, and that's different. But no matter what age you are, I think, and you keep doing that, and you still feel greatly about something, and you continue to grow up, and I think that's what we all should do. So it's not saying one path or the other is right, but you should always choose the path that makes you grow up, I think. That's just my opinion. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
For you to consider, maybe we could have one more person reflect on that, perhaps. Anybody else?
Oh, Okay, so for me, I think that in academic career, I'm in the middle. But I would say that it's the best of both worlds because in academic, you have a stable career, but actually the salary may not be as high as if you work for the company. But then you have the freedom to do what you love to do. And then I believe that based on building up experience, you can choose to do many things or have many income if you wish to. Yeah, thank you.
I think being a professor really works well for me as well because I freelance and then I am able to get my emceeing jobs, which bring in a bit of stability in terms of income. But of course, emceeing, you've got the younger generation taking over, and then there won't be jobs when you're gray and aging, and then eventually you need a cane to help you up the stairs, you know? So you might want to try different things as well to balance out the two paths in your life, okay? So just keep on getting exposure and the experience, okay? Now, finally, we're a little bit over time, but I think this is quite important. Some general advice for all of you to take away with you, okay, as you begin your journey as a full-fledged adult. Please, what would be your advice to all of them seated here before you? The road to success. Let's start with Mr. Ananton.
I'm actually very jealous of you here. You are still very open to all the opportunities. For me, I have big responsibility on my back. But then I know I just want to say, believe in yourself that you can do it. You can follow your dream. You can make your dream come true, become successful. But please look back into the less fortunate in our society, the people, the children, the poor.
I understand where you're coming from. No matter how successful you become in the future, always reach out to those in need as well. Don't be out there, cutthroat world, reaching for success and leaving people behind. It's always nice to give back to society. And that's something that you would like everybody here to have in them as well. Is that right?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Let's move on now to the other three. You only have 30 seconds.
I'll go next.
Now you've only got 20 seconds. Just
well,
kidding, please.
Keep learning. And the past 4 years, teachers have told you what to learn. From now on, no one's going to tell you what to learn. And you're going to succeed or not, pick your own subjects. Your teacher is YouTube or the courses, your friends, your mentors, and books. And so keep on reading, keep on learning, and then you can do what you do through your own research and through your own knowledge. And so if you understand how to keep on researching, then you can pick up anything.
Thank you. Dr. Supawadi ka.
Okay, so I would say from my experience, first one, try to find your passion. Okay. So if you have the career that you have a passion, you will be very happy and everything else will come to you. The second thing, build the right skill set, in which I think you now have it from the university one part, right? So that skill is like both technical skill and also soft skill. And the third thing I believe is the most important is try to learn, as many people said, we have to learn and then continuously improve yourself. You have to make yourself value added all the time. Okay, so value added means that, based on your career, why people would like to choose you for this job, why they would like to promote you, right? So I think one part of the value added is also know the right people and have very good networking, both in Thailand and international networking. So that's like 3 cents for me. Thank you.
The final words coming from Mr. Titawat ka.
I think keys to success is very hard because you don't know what success is to everybody. What is it? Lots of money, lots of fame, lots of respect. I mean, it's different for everybody. And so I think my one advice, which I think is right, is that do what it takes that you feel good about what you're about to do when you get up in the morning. I mean, you get up and you're like, ugh, that I don't think you're doing it right. I think success to me is when you wake up and you feel all right or good about what you're going to do. And so I think you should just, if you have that in mind, your choices, just try to keep your choices direct toward things like that. And travel when you can, every chance you get. I think it's very important to travel. Thank you.
Words of wisdom there. Ladies and gentlemen, the future is in your own hands with a bit of luck, okay? You choose your destiny. Make it happen. Be successful. A big round of applause for MUIC's Outstanding Alumni Recipients 2017. On behalf of them, I wish you all the very, very best. And perhaps the following years we'll be seeing you up here on this stage representing. Thank you so much for your attention. Over to the MC.
It was such an insightful talk and very useful. I believe your advice and comment will come in handy for our alumni out here someday in their future. It is now my pleasure to call upon Associate Professor Dr. Pitaya Charupunpon, Dean of MUIC, on stage to present a gift to our beautiful moderator and MUIC Alumni Association President. Now please welcome Piking Wirapong, our MUIC AA President, on stage. Please remain on stage to have a group photo shooting together. May I invite everybody, Associate Professor Pitaya Charupunpon, Ajahn Michael Nicholas, Associate Dean from Student Affairs, Kun Virapong Bunsa, Kun Pachari Raksa Wong, and MUIC Outstanding Alumni Awardees 2017. And this is Key to Success for MUIC Final Touch 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to them. As we reach the end of the event today, heartfelt thanks go to Associate Professor Dr. Pitaya Charupunpon, Dean of MUIC, the Office of Student Affairs, MUIC staff, and all of you for today. Please remain seated as I would like to inform some announcement to you before leaving the room for lunch. Today we have provided lunch ready in front of the auditorium today. Alumni Association gown and group photo booking will begin at 12:30. So please come back to your seat after lunch, and everybody has a cue card with you already. Please secure it as we will use it for the afternoon session. There is no ATM machines at Prince Mahidol Hall, so the closest one is at the College of Music. As in the afternoon session, we have some payment has to be made. So now I shall leave you guys for lunch, and we will go for 5 rows at a time. So first 5 rows, please stand up and leave the exits, so we don't get too crowded at the exits. First 5 rows first, please. There is exit door in front and exit door at the back. Please come back before 12:30.